This time on Outback Truckers. As Scotty begins his shift,
I love me job.
the long arm of the law strikes.
Just so you know, we're in a body camera.
I've only just started work.
Hey, Scotty, where'd you come from?
And Outback house mover Robbie
No.
gets rocking and rolling.
Kangaroos aren't really made for houses.
And Mark faces dangerous
That time of the day when you don't want to be on the road.
oncoming traffic.
Sometimes you can't avoid them. They come out that quick. Oh, look out.
At the moment, I think this drought, I think it's hurting everyone, you know? Water's becoming a liquid gold.
In Western Australia, Scott Conahan is heading to a drought-ravaged town that's fast running out of water.
We're going up to Beagle Bay Aboriginal community.
With 500 locals desperate for water, the remote community is struggling to survive.
What do you do if a town's running out of water and there's no water? Like, the kids need to drink, people need to shower. If you've got no water, you've got nothing really, have you? What do? And you can't swim in the ocean up there. The crocs will get you.
To sustain the community, a high-capacity tank is being installed to hold as much precious bore water as possible.
We've had a contractor up there putting in a new water tank to feed the town. And with that, they needed an excavator for the pad and also a roller to compact the ground. So they've been up there for a couple of weeks now. But yeah, they're finished with all the machinery. So we're going to run up there empty. We're bringing all the gear home.
From Port Hedland, Scott will travel to Beagle Bay via Broome, collect the heavy machinery and deliver it back to the yard. A round trip of 1,400 kilometres.
Plan is to get to Roebuck Bay Roadhouse tonight.
Yep. Danny is the transport coordinator. She tells us all where to go, literally.
Righto, that's your delivery docket.
And Danny is also my wife. So it doesn't matter whether I'm at work or at home, I'm always getting told what to do.
All right, stay safe.
Okay.
Have a good trip.
Shall do. I love me job. I look forward to getting up every day and having a challenge.
As Scott hits the road, the impact of the severe drought that's been gripping Australia for the past 3 years is everywhere.
The drought at the moment is that bad. People are hurt. Cattle are just dropping dead. There's only a little bit of water at the river. Look at that. Wow. The place is dry. Just puddles. At night, when all the cattle come down, they're nearly fighting just to get the last bit of water. Look how many cattle huddled around a dry dam with nothing in it. They're just laying there in the dust. This Aboriginal community will be the same soon.
Hey, 10 to 5, we'll get through, won't we?
Mate, by the time you get more and bar, it'll be 5 o'clock, so we'll in there.
In central Queensland, house mover Shane Burgess has been grounded by his police escort.
8 blokes out there standing there waiting for this house to get there.
A curfew for oversized loads is about to begin in the town of Moranbah, halting Shane in his tracks for 2 hours during morning rush hour.
Just dollars, dollars, dollars.
Every minute he's delayed is costing money in extra labour costs. Shane and his boss Robbie are moving 2 houses from 2 separate locations in southern Queensland. Shane is carting his house on 2 trucks from the Gold Coast, while Robbie's load is coming from just outside Brisbane, also on 2 trucks, and both are heading to Sondela Cattle Station, northwest of Moranbah.
We going? Let's go.
Shane's police escort has had a change of heart, allowing the convoy through the town minutes before the curfew begins.
Let's go. Pull me up and they'll let me go. They said, yeah, we've got 10 minutes to get through, so we'll make it. Like, they should have said that before they pulled us up. There's a lot of traffic coming towards us. So that's why they got the curfew, but still only 10 to 5.
Shane's now less than 50 kilometres from his destination.
We made it. We're out the other side. Got to have a wind now and then.
He needs to catch up to his boss, Robbie, who will supervise both houses being reassembled on site.
Yeah, Robbie's in front. He's turned off this road. He's on the dirt road now. Apparently it's pretty rough. A lot of corrugation. Doesn't sound good.
The corrugations are inch-high ridges made in the sandy track by truck tyres. They can shake a fragile cargo to bits.
No, we're doing 7 Ks, man. It's shit. So we've come all this way. The house has held up really good, but this corrugation hopefully doesn't take its toll on the house, you know.
The trail's a little bit higher than the dolly, so it will bring it down to the right height. It certainly keeps you fit doing this all the time.
Long-haul trucker Mark Pett is embarking on a colossal journey.
My total trip's going to be approximately 13,000 kilometres. I'm going right round Australia.
He's making a delivery run to some of the most isolated farms in Australia.
We have got a full load of cattle grids, 3 trailers, so we're about 48 metres long. These cattle grids go on to farms or roadways where you don't have to open and close gates. Just put the grid in the ground.
The cattle grids are installed along fence lines instead of gates or near railway lines to prevent cattle straying onto the tracks.
Each grid is around about 2 tonne to 2.5 tonne. Gross weight, approximately 100 tonne.
From Burke in New South Wales, Mark will travel almost 700 kilometres to Quilpie in Queensland. He'll unload, then trek a further 2,000 kilometres to Singleton Station in the Northern Territory.
This is where I live for the next 2 weeks, chasing the white line.
A trucker since he was 18, Mark is no stranger to the vast emptiness of outback Australia.
I've been driving trucks all my life. Got to see the country and get paid to do it. I'm just about to leave New South Wales and cross into Queensland. Today we've got to watch the temperature. Today's going to be a 40-odd degree Celsius day, driving on black bitumen where the road temperature can get up to 60 degrees. That's a lot of heat in our tyres.
If his tyres overheat, their pressure increases and they can explode. Mark keeps one eye on the tyres and one on the clock. His first delivery to Quilpie Council is a tight deadline.
It is a council depot, so they have to go home at 3:30, 4 o'clock, so we're going to try and do a bit of a shortcut up here. We're just going to check the road conditions. If there's no signage on the road, we'll be right to go through.
The shortcut could save Mark a valuable hour, but it comes at a risk.
It's a narrow bitumen road. We just don't want to be too far off the road if another truck comes, because the road edge can get quite soft.
Mark is gambling on getting through over 200 kilometres of single-lane road without another truck coming the other way.
The easy first caravan was seen in an hour. So that might be peak hour traffic, hopefully.
But up ahead, a long section of the road is unfinished, forcing Mark's 100-tonne road train onto the soft gravel edges.
If I get bogged, we could be sitting here for hours waiting for someone to turn up.
Today's a pretty cruisy day. We're doing 600 Ks empty on the bitumen. Tomorrow's going to be a hard day. We're doing 200 Ks. It's going to take us about 10 or 12 hours on the dirt.
In Western Australia, Scott's clear roads and cruisy day is suddenly a lot more congested. A convoy of heavy machinery is hogging the road.
They're under strict supervision, so they'll be down to 10 k's an hour.
Second load's clear.
So they restrict or reduce their speed limit down to 10 k's an hour, so they walk across nice and steady and they don't wreck the bridges.
We're clear the bridge.
So the boys have pulled up, man, and give us a bit of room. Thanks very much for that, guys. Enjoy your day, eh?
Thanks, fella.
Yeah, we're not far out of Roebuck Plains now. The sun's going down. Call it a day. I'll jump in the bunk. Have an early night, I think, because the fun begins tomorrow, doesn't it? Sleeping in the truck, yeah, it's nice. Better than going home, really. You jump in there, you got the whole place to yourself, don't you? No one's going to steal the doona.
Next morning, Scott's up at the crack of dawn to get a jump on the desert heat. His destination is the drought-stricken community of Beagle Bay.
We're going to have to split this configuration up, grab the back trailer because we can only take one trailer in at a time because the road's that bad.
Ahead lies 100 kilometres of dirt along the unsealed Cape Leveque Road, one of the roughest tracks in the Kimberley region.
We're going to take the second trailer in first and load the 13.5-tonne excavator.
Scott will travel the bone-crunching road 4 times, transporting each trailer one at a time, all the way in empty and all the way out loaded up.
We're just going to let the tyre pressures down. But we're not shaking the shit out of the truck. Today's going to be a good day. Nothing's going to go wrong. So far, so good. Just got to be patient.
Barely 1 hour into the journey, and a call on Scott's radio tests his patience.
You on channel?
Yeah, copy, mate. Yep, Cape Leveque Road.
Yeah, go, mate. Main road's transport inspectors behind you. When you're ready, just find a spot that's safe and we'll just have a quick look to your vehicle.
Yeah, copy, mate. No worries. Thank you.
Transport Department inspectors regularly patrol outback roads, and if they discover violations, Scott could be looking at fines of up to $10,000.
Dave?
Yeah. Just so you know, we're in a body camera.
Yeah, no dramas. I've got nothing to hide.
Okay.
Within seconds, the inspectors find a problem.
Gonna let them know about this, Dave.
Corrugation on the dirt road is really bad, so just have to creep along and hopefully it gets better.
House mover Robbie Mackay has nursed this classic Queensland house safely over 1,000 kilometres of bitumen. But the final 20 k's of dirt are threatening to destroy it.
The house is over 100 years old, like it's a nice old house, and it's travelling really well, but the corrugations is what really tests the house out.
Now that he's hit cattle country, every fence line he reaches has a cattle grid, causing more vibrations.
The cattle grids aren't really made for houses, so steady will lift up, go over them.
Robbie's brand new hydraulic trailer system allows him to raise the deck automatically from the cab to get over any obstacles in the truck's path.
We've got a really good name, and obviously for a reason. Any damages we do, we've got to fix.
Neither Robbie's house or Shane's, 40 kilometres behind, were ever designed for a life on the road.
Hi. Apparently you got sparks coming out of your trailer.
Shane's second driver, Darren, is in trouble.
There's sparks coming out.
Once you get on the gravel, it can certainly change a few things. Yep, we're out of it now, so...
With a 100-tonne load of cattle grids, long-haul trucker Mark Pett has gambled on a shortcut just north of the Queensland-New South Wales border.
We're on this narrow, gutted bitumen road. There's a few water spots that are holding water on the edge of the road, but we're kicking up a bit of dust, so pretty well on time to our destination. Shortcut paid off, saved us about an hour.
Mark is on the first leg of a mammoth 13,000 kilometre trek around Australia.
Welcome to Quilpie.
First delivery is 4 cattle grids for the Quilpie Shire Council.
That looks pretty good. You want to take this off, mate? If you want to get some empty pallets, I'll put them underneath it so you can lift them up.
Yeah, okay.
I'll put this right down round opposite the leg somewhere for you, mate. Yeah.
The 2.5 tonne grids are unloaded using a crane attached to Mark's truck, operated by remote control.
Coming down there, Steve. This crane will lift about 10 tonne close, and it'll lift about 3 tonne at 7 metres. I haven't hit anyone yet. That's just perfection in the making. Champion, mate.
Thank you, mate.
Good on you.
Cheers, mate.
That was as good as it gets, mate. No snakes, no fires, beautiful blue sky. Next delivery, Tennant Creek, about 2,000 kilometres away. One thing's for sure, it's a very, very big country we live in. You can drive for days and days and days and still be in the one state.
It's now 4 p.m. Mark has just enough time to make his overnight rest stop in Tambo, 400 kilometres north.
I like these days where there's no dramas, no altercations, no flat tyres. We'll play it safe and just stay on the bitumen for tonight. We'll get to Tambo tonight.
But even with clear roads, he won't get there before nightfall.
Oh, look at that beautiful moon out there tonight. It's that time of the day when you don't want to be on the road. Wildlife will start coming out of the bush onto the road to start feeding. Sometimes you can't avoid them, they come out that quick. Oh, look out.
The Kimberley region, Western Australia. Just one day into his journey to Beagle Bay, and Scott's been pulled over by transport inspectors. They have the power to ground a driver and his truck on the spot in the middle of nowhere.
Morning, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good.
I've done a chain.
Yeah, it looks like this has come adrift. I mean, righto. Can you secure that for us?
Yeah, I've obviously lost the hook. Thanks for spotting that. I'll get a new hook when I get back to the yard. Obviously, the split pin's fallen out. We've lost the hook, but I've still got the chain. That's the least of our dramas today, mate. We're laughing. So far.
Scott is ordered to drive his rig backwards and forwards, testing for play in the trailer coupling.
There's just a little bit of movement in there.
When you get a chance, can you get some new ones for us?
There's also a problem with the trailer's reflectors.
Yeah, they're starting to look a bit old and tatty.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
The transport cops request a check of Scott's logbook.
They want to make sure that I'm well within my driving hours and I've had all my regulated brakes.
Hey, Scotty, where'd you come from?
This morning, I've come from Roebuck Plains Roadhouse. I've had a 12-hour break and only just got going this morning at 6 o'clock.
I've wrote out a caution.
Okay.
You need to renew the marker plates.
Yep.
You too, Scotty.
Yeah,
All
look
right.
after yourself.
Take care.
I'll see you around the
And
track
all
somewhere,
best.
right? Yeah, and Dave.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Scott's been lucky. It's only cost an hour of driving time.
If you've broken your fatigue laws or anything, they'll ground you. You're not allowed to move for 24 hours, loss of income. The boss wouldn't be happy. Well, here comes the dirt. That's the end of the smooth stuff over. You're hanging onto your stomach.
The track is heavily corrugated,
It just shakes the shit out of the poor old truck, doesn't it?
with inch-high ruts sending shockwaves through the entire truck.
I'm glad now that we let them tyres down. You wouldn't call this a good day at work. Yesterday was better, wasn't it? Got 100 Ks of this. Corrugations. Oh, man's best friend, aren't they? Look at this. This is the dream, Eddie. Geez, that's sandy, eh? We're about to get bogged in the sand. The sand's that thick and that soft that we're not getting traction. So what I've done now is just quickly thrown the diff locks in and drop the airbags.
The airbags are part of the suspension system. They're like balloons that resist the weight of the trailer and help prevent Scott's rig from being forced downwards into the sand.
We're about to get bogged, mate. We are about to get bogged. Which is not good. Which is not good at all.
You got sparks coming out of your trailer.
Sparks are flying from the back of Darren's truck as he attempts to transport an entire house across central Queensland.
It's one thing after another. That's what the sparks are. The brake arm just came off. The thing has just broke off. It doesn't matter, we just get rid of the arm. There we go. Chuck that new ute. Let's go. It was just a brake arm. I don't know why, but it came loose. It was dragging on the road, so now it's gone completely. We took it off, so now there's no brakes on that wheel, so we're not going to have a problem anymore.
Darren's trailer still has 5 working brakes to stop his 40-ton load, just enough to complete his journey safely. He and Shane are pushing to catch up with their boss, Robbie.
Yeah, we'll just keep going now till we get there. We're miles back here, right?
They need to get both houses reassembled together at Sondela Cattle Station as accommodation for new workers.
Sneeko, it's not bouncing too much at the back there.
No, it's actually not too bad, eh?
30 kilometres in front of them.
That's on the right there, Robbie.
What's that, mate?
You come up, when you look at where you are, you look to your right, there's a couple of wishes that's on top of the fence post.
Yeah.
Robbie finally arrives at the station gate after a 1,000-kilometre journey.
Oh, yep. Into that paddock.
But the final hurdle could be the most challenging. How to navigate the sandy paddock without getting bogged.
Well, it's all just bull dust, like you can see, it's just sand, you know, so we don't want to stop or we'll just bog down. Very soft. Get out.
Yeah, she's a bit loose, but it's holding up, but I don't know for how long, so...
As the sun rises in Tambo, Queensland, Mark Pett is inspecting the damage from last night's collision with an unfortunate kangaroo.
Kangaroo run into the side of the leg last night. You can see he's splattered up against the side of the tyre, hit the leg and has busted all the bolts on the stabiliser leg for the crane, so we'll have to get that fixed.
They're not good things to hit. They come out that quick. You just don't have time to react at all.
It's been a pretty hard impact for a kangaroo to break. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of them. I've got 2 left holding it on. So hopefully it'll hang in there.
The 2 remaining bolts can barely hold the weight of the 100-kilogram hydraulic ram and won't be strong enough to stabilise the crane if he attempts to lift any of the grids.
Can't unfold that crane unless that leg is down. In other words, nothing's getting unloaded until that gets fixed.
With 90 tonnes of cattle grid still to unload from his trailers, Mark's first priority is to repair the crane.
Hello. Yeah, g'day, mate. You guys Powellfinger repairers in Mount Isa?
Yeah, we are.
I just got a crane on my truck that's sheared some bolts off. The leg's only just hanging there.
Oh, yeah, mate, we can help you there.
All right, thanks, mate.
Okay, see you.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
Mark's found a mechanic, but he's almost 1,000 kilometres away in Mount Isa.
Let's wait and see till we get through some rough section up here, whether the leg falls off or whether it stays on the truck. There's only 2 bolts holding it on. It's too heavy to pick up on my own. Absolutely beautiful landscape to be travelling through. You can never get tired of this scenery.
But the jagged beauty of the outback brings more challenges.
Pretty rough road here for 27 kilometres and floodplain area, and it's quite rough, as you can see. This could shake the leg off the crane, so it'd be a pretty bad situation if the leg come off doing this speed. If the leg comes off, it's going to go under the trailer or under the wheels, and, you know, big metal hydraulic ram flying across the road could end up killing someone.
Yeah, nearly stopped, which is not good in the sand.
On his approach to Beagle Bay, Scott's battling a stretch of deep sand that's threatening to bog his rig.
The only way we're going to beat this is momentum. We'll try and keep momentum going here. Come on, baby, come on, baby, come on.
Scott narrowly avoids being stranded.
It's a good feeling when you get out the other side, isn't it? Hey? It's a good feeling. Give her a rub. Every now and then she deserves a little pat.
After 700 grueling kilometres, Scott finally has his destination in sight. The remote coastal community of Beagle Bay. Ravaged by drought, a new storage tank is under construction to help solve the water shortage.
You don't realise how much water means to people until you don't have it. Morning, mate. The community, they're tickle pink. But yeah, they're finished with all the machinery, so we're bringing all the gear home.
Back on the track, and those familiar corrugations put Scott through his paces again.
It's just a shitty track, it is.
Scott reaches the parking bay and shuffles the trailers.
So we've just unhooked that fully loaded trailer.
Ready for his final run to collect the last piece of machinery.
We'll just hook onto the lead empty trailer. That's it. Done.
It's another 100 kilometres of brutal corrugations.
Here comes the dirt. It's just drool, that's all it is. So, you know, these things cost a lot of money. You come down here, you're just trashing it. But what about the driver? Every trip I go home, I've got a permanent booking with Russ, the chiropractor. And, like, I walk out of that office and I'm on cloud 9. So here we are, back in Beagle Bay community again. We'll load this roller on. Shouldn't take too long. Ready to roll. Let's start heading home, eh?
As dawn breaks, Scott hooks up the 2 fully loaded trailers in the parking bay.
Now that we're finally off the dirt, we're just doing the run back home. We'll pump all our tyre pressures back up to the required road PSI.
But as he does a final check of the load,
We've got diesel. Smell diesel. It's not a good start to the day, is it?
trouble strikes.
Diesel everywhere. It's all over the trailer. It's running out from under the machine. Look, it's dripping out.
When you're ready, mate. You're right, mate, don't stop. Keep going straight.
After a 1,000-kilometre trek, Robbie Mackay has made it to Sondela Station in Outback Queensland.
Stop!
But on arrival, his second truck is bogged at the final hurdle.
So dry and dusty here. It's hard, just you get bogged so easy.
But there is some good news.
Why coming in over there where you are too, Robbie?
No, Darren's gone in like straight ahead and around, and your bit ends up further over, so you'll get in real easy. Like Bob.
The rest of the convoy has arrived in the nick of time.
Shane's here, he made it to curfew. Darren's here, so I'm happy.
We're here, out the middle of nowhere.
It is exciting seeing them roll in with the trucks.
The 400,000-acre station, which stocks 35,000 cattle, is building its own meat processing plant that will employ 70 workers.
The biggest house is going to be the dining area and the recreational area for an on-site abattoir we're in the process of erecting. And the second house will be the abattoir manager's residence.
It's cheaper and quicker for the station owner to buy old houses and relocate them than to construct entirely new buildings.
There the fun begins. Put it all back together.
It's 7 a.m. and the team have been driving since midnight, but the hard work has just begun as they do more than just move the houses.
There's heaps to do. Join all these, start them, put the roofs back on. There's more labour and work than actually truck driving.
Meanwhile, Robbie has to rescue his second truck. Its tyres are bogged in the sand.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get a tow. It's just so soft. It's going nowhere. You reckon you can pull us in the loader? Oh, get him hooked up, get him dragged in. You want to take the weight on it? There you go, I got a couple of metres. Metre. Yep, hold it. Right, check! Get straight! Hold it there! Whoa! Okay, so we've just got a boat on the pad.
With both houses now in position, Robbie's team dig the holes for the supporting stumps.
We just dug the last of the holes, so we'll get this unloaded. Right, mate. And we'll join it back together. First time it's been back together since I left Brisbane, you know? Tano?
Yeah, mate.
Cool, mate. How you doing? We'll see you finishing them up first, eh? Well, it's good to see you giving it a crack, mate, but this one's joined, it's ready to go. We'll be stumping soon. So. Yeah, mate, I'll see you at the pub.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll be at the pub first.
It's not a good start to the day, is it? We've got diesel everywhere. It's all over the trailer. It's rushing out from under the machine. Look, it's dripping out. Someone hasn't put the bloody fuel cap on properly. Some things are just hard for some people, eh?
After cleaning up a messy diesel spill, Scott's finally heading 700 kilometres back to Port Hedland.
Yeah, this is it now. The run home.
Yeah, go, mate. Main road's transport inspectors behind you.
Would you believe the transport inspectors are southbound, and we've just had to call up on the radio to find a spot and pull over for a vehicle inspection again.
That you, Scotty?
Yes, it is. Is that you, Dave?
Yes, it is. Twice in one patrol, mate. It's bigger.
It's just uncanny, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of road, not many trucks, and looks like you're in.
Lucky me.
The oversized road train.
No, I'm not oversized. That 13.5 tonne Hitachi is exactly 2.5.
No worries, mate.
So you still want me to pull up then?
Nah, mate, we stopped you the other day. You're not heavy, yeah, so we'll give you a free pass today.
A free pass. Well, that's mighty nice of you, boys. Righto. You enjoy the rest of your day, won't you, and drive safe.
Yeah, too, mate.
Ah, that was close, wasn't it? Oh, we're on the home run now.
You gotta have a win every now and then, don't you?
How uncanny, but you just never know where they're going to be.
After 4 days trucking on some of Western Australia's harshest roads,
Well, that's it.
Scott's finally made it back to the yard in Port Hedland.
I can't wait for the next town to help out, to be honest. I'd jump at it a heartbeat, but as for travelling those roads, I'd have to get my chiropractor to help out a bit more.
In Mount Isa, North Queensland, a mechanic has fixed Mark Pett's disabled crane.
Very good. Perfect. Thanks, mate. We can get going now.
We've lost 3 hours today waiting for the bolts to turn up, and we'll get there. We're just going to be late. Yeah, hoping the last cattle, well, one of the last cattle grids in Queensland. We're really getting into unfenced road. A lot of cattle strikes further out on the Barkly Highway, and they are big cows. They do a lot of damage.
After almost 5 hours driving through the Northern Territory outback, Mark reaches Tennant Creek.
Coming into Tennant Creek, it's a little bit of a different landscape.
But the crane repair delays mean Mark won't make his delivery before nightfall.
By the time we get down here, it's going to be beer o'clock. We'll just do it in the morning.
The next morning, Mark has his final 2 deliveries in sight at Singleton Station, 100 kilometres south of Tennant Creek, for this section of his massive all-around Australia odyssey.
We're going down here to meet the manager to guide us around.
Station manager William Stanley is rendezvousing with Mark, 17 kilometres from the property, to plan the drop-off. He's fencing a paddock next to the road to open it up for cattle grazing.
We need them pretty quickly because, like, your cattle are out in the road. Well, we want to use the paddock. It's pretty dry this time of year, so every bit of grass you got sort of helps. The wolf for that, do you?
Yeah, we'll just fire the crane up, mate. We're delivering these 2 cattle grids, but we're delivering them actually out onto site where they've got to go to save the owner moving them around. And he is going to guide us in. We're going to follow him so we don't get lost.
Singleton Station is a massive 730,000 acres. Fences are only used to stop cattle wandering onto the highway or railway lines.
These stations are pretty big. Once you drive through the front gate, it might take you half an hour just to get to the homestead, another half an hour to get out to the back of the paddock.
Luckily for Mark, the first part of the delivery is right next to the highway.
Yeah, I do a little bit of dirt through the gates.
The first cattle grid to be installed next to the gate will allow easy vehicle access to the property. The old grid is beyond repair.
Where do you want it, mate? Somewhere here?
Yeah, pretty much right there on that track.
Unloading the 2.5-tonne grid is the first test for Mark's newly repaired crane.
That worked well. And bolts held in pretty well. That's good.
Mark's delivering the second grid 20 kilometres down a soft, sandy track where a major train line crosses the property.
This is a train line, and This looks like where our last grid is going. Hopefully we'll get her off here and be able to turn around.
With 3 trailers behind him, Mark now has to find a way to turn his 48-metre-long rig around. He's relying on the station manager's local knowledge to help get his truck off the property.
I'll show you where I think to turn you around.
Yeah. He knows the property pretty well, so I'm sure he'll find a spot for us to turn around.
The best option is a narrow track around a small dam.
We found a spot to turn around, but she's not all that crash hot.
He's going to come around on the loop road through there, but it's too tight because he's got 3 trailers on.
We're going to come in past some cattle troughs and cattle yards down here, and then we are going to come back out through a fence. So he's going to cut the fence. We've just got to get a bit of momentum down here because she's a little bit sandy. Hopefully no cows run out in front of us. Get going, mate. Give him a little bit of a toot, get a bit of speed up.
Mark takes the risk of getting snagged on the wire.
We're driving over a barbed wire fence as long as nothing gets hooked up. Perfect. Job well done. Second delivery done, and now heading for the next delivery. We should be there in about 2.5 to 3 days.
As Mark sets off on the next leg of his epic journey across the sun-scorched dust bowl of Outback Australia, an oasis appears out of nowhere. The Devil's Marbles Hotel and its crystal clear pool.
Beautiful. I suppose I better get back on the road again. Give me a minute.
This time on Outback Truckers.
People have perished out there, and I don't want my blokes to be any one of those.
Steve's tasked Slick with a one-man battle with the desert.
You're stranded out here. Can be quite a while before someone comes along.
And Chaz's drought-busting mercy mission springs a leak.
There's blokes out there that want the friggin' water, and here I am wasting it.
It's stinking hot out there. He's got 1,200 kilometres of dirt.
It is warm, but I don't think it'll make the 47 or whatever it was yesterday.
He's got 3 trailers, 62 wheels on the road looking for punches. He's got to deal with corrugations. He's got to deal with camels on the road.
It's a big mob, all right.
He's got the job in front of him. It's not for the faint-hearted, this job. It's for old-school truckies still.
Look after your gear and it'll get you there.
Slick's loading up a triple-trailer road train for the marathon trip, hauling house-building frames and construction supplies. From Perth, he'll travel 600 kilometres to Kalgoorlie before a 1,900-kilometre trek through the Central Australian desert to Alice Springs.
Where do you reckon you'll get to tonight?
Laverton.
Steve Graham is sending one of his best mates, Slick, to face the hostility of the outback.
I'm a solitary bloke, and I love it out there in the desert when you're on your own. It's just beautiful. It'll beat anywhere in the world, I reckon.
You don't want to go rushing out there not knowing what you're doing. You can come undone very quick, very big time.
It's the last desert run before Christmas. Slick's promised his wife and 3 children he'll definitely make it home.
Slick's been trucking a long time, about 10 years less than me. And the one thing Slick's managed in all of his trucking career is to get home at Christmas.
It's the only day of the year that I have to be home. I don't care about any others. And my wife counts on it, family count on it, and I do whatever I can to be home every Christmas.
Slick's an outback trucker of the old school, brought up the old way. And we call him Slick because no matter how much hard, greasy, dirty work he's got to do, Slick always comes up looking a picture of sartorial splendour. And the rest of us, we all look pretty shabby and rough, but old Slick, he comes up slick every time.
Oh, beautiful. It's good enough for me.
Due to Western Australia's strict road train restrictions, Slick can't carry a triple trailer on the first stretch of road, east to Kalgoorlie.
Better get the show on the road.
So Steve will drive one of the trailers to where Slick is allowed to take over with the extra load.
Under the arm will be gone.
After they stop at Kalgoorlie, Slick will be on his own, driving solo through the desert.
We get 3 days to get there, which is comfortable, depending on weather and the road condition, of course.
The pressure's on Slick. You've got to get all the way across that desert, into Alice Springs, unload it, stack some up, reload a bit of it and turn around and get all the way back across that desert. And of course he's got that clock hanging over his head, ticking away at him about Christmas.
See what happens along the way. Nothing I can do about it if the road's real bad and I've got to do 10k now.
If Slick got home the day after Christmas, it's not the end of the world, but it would be a breaking of a family tradition that they have set in concrete in their family, you know? And I would like to be part of breaking that tradition for them. Christmas is the one day of the year where he can go with the flow that he sets up. He can go with his own flow, not have to worry about what everyone else is requiring of him.
Slick's barely out of the yard, but already his vintage air conditioner is playing up.
Sweating like a pig. The fan switch is playing up. Bit temperamental, it'll start up, and then as long as I don't touch the switch, it'll work for days non-stop, and then it'll start doing this caper again and cut in and out. And every now and then I've just got to punch the dash to make it work, or play with the knob. She's an old girl, she's nearly 30 years old.
Now, I'm not sure if Slick's happy about this whole idea just now. He's battling away out there with a road train without an air conditioner.
It's going to be in the 40s tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day. And this thing won't cope, and it had better pull its ass into gear. Little hit here, little bang with a spanner there, and you can fix them.
I want to get this load in, keep the customer happy, and get the invoice in for the end of the year. That's a good one for me. And Slick wants to get home for Christmas. So both of us have got our own agenda, which is pushing us in the background.
In New South Wales, 98% of the state is in drought. The land has been sun-baked for 3 long years. The biggest dry spell in half a century.
This is our worst year we've had since we've been here. Probably the first time we have any crop. With no money coming in and power bills and the rates, I just think it's pretty tough. I've got a funny feeling it's going to rain, but I don't know when.
Farmers like Henry Parry are desperate for food and water to keep their stock alive.
This load of hay is going to go up north of Nyngan.
Outback trucker Chaz Butt is making a hay run, free of charge, to give Henry's farm a fighting chance of survival.
There's bugger all feed up there and they're screaming for it.
The hay delivery is only half of Chaz's mercy dash. From Burrumbuttock, Chaz will deliver the hay north to Nyngan, return empty to Albury, then collect a tanker with 22,000 litres of precious water and head west to another farm at Pooncarry, a round trip of over 2,400 kilometres.
If we don't help the farmers, we don't eat.
Thousands of livestock depend on the donated water and food to stay alive.
There's 2 different kind of people. There's people that feel good doing things for others, and there's other people that don't give a shit. I'm second generation, my old man, he was an old school truckie. The top bale's not over far enough, it's grabbing it, it's kicking it. I think I was conceived in one of their first trucks, actually. This is real trucking out here. Yeah, it's got to be in the dirt, you know. I just love the Outback. We're going to have just over 20 tonne of hay. As hardjacker as it might be, I like carting hay or cattle. This is real trucking.
Loading done, Chaz sets off on the first leg of his drought-busting dash. But the warning lights are already on.
She's sputtering already. That check engine light's just come on. I'm going to throw the bonnet over up here. My own peace of mind and see why it's spluttering. Well, I'm hoping something simple. Maybe the water. Could be anything. I'm hoping it's just low on water, but it's coughing and carrying on. Just seeing if there's any water in the fuel, you know, in the fuel filter, but it's a bit of a worry.
Just outside Kalgoorlie, Western Australia, Adrian Slick Serafini pulls in to take a third trailer from his boss, Steve Graham.
Slick's going to drop his 2 trailers. I'm going to hook this one up as his first.
Right, you know it.
And then he's a road train. Better make sure everything's right for him or I'll be in trouble. Keep it safe, mate. Have a good one. Yeah, give us a phone call. You know the deal.
All right.
You got water, you got food.
All good.
Righto, mate. Thank you. See ya.
Off we go again.
From now on, Slick is on his own at the wheel of a 53.5 metre, 100-tonne triple road train. He's heading towards one of Western Australia's most treacherous outback roads.
A bloke like Slick, he's got all that horror road in front of him. You just know he's going to come out the other end and do it, so he'll get the job done.
Slick is being tested straight away.
It's hot. We got to about 42 point something.
Rising temperatures threaten to overheat the cabin and the engine.
Water temp's up. Diffs are running hot. Gearbox was pretty warm. Yeah, so I backed off down to about 80, 85. Just to cool things down a little bit, so that's dragged this little stretch a bit longer.
On a tight deadline to get home for Christmas, he's already behind schedule.
Running late, as per usual. I wanted to be further where I am now. I wanted to be almost at Laverton. But things happen.
After parking up in Laverton overnight, Slick sets out early on the Great Central Road to try and beat the desert heat.
Woke up at 5 o'clock. It was already 33 degrees. And it's going to be hot out there today. Right. This is where the dirt starts, right here. So it's going to get kind of bumpy from now on. An old school rule was you're heading east, you drive on the west side of the road. Corrugations are more rounded, so old school boys tend to drive on the opposite side of the road. Yeah, the road's getting a little bit rougher.
As the desert temperatures rise, Slick's rig struggles in the extreme weather conditions.
My engine oil temps and my water temps are up there. This truck normally runs on about 85, 90 degrees. It's now just about to touch 100. I'm not happy about that.
In country New South Wales, trucker Chaz Butt has been stopped in his tracks. His engine is seriously misfiring.
Just seeing if there's any water in the fuel filter, but it seems all right, but it's a bit of a worry. I'm hoping it's just low on water, but it's got a pretty bad sputter in it. Got to watch out when it's bloody hot. That's not the problem.
With an urgent cargo of hay for drought-ravaged farmers, Chaz can't afford a hold-up.
We've got to make tracks. Hopefully she'll survive the trip.
He'd rather risk his engine than not deliver.
Yeah, this road, you've got to really be on the game. You can't really drive in the left-hand lane because of the shoulder.
His top-heavy load and the rough country roads could be a lethal combination.
Some of these shoulders on this road, there's a 6-inch drop on them. So if something else is coming, you've got to drop a wheel off. You get your steer cord on that, you're fighting it to get it back up. it gets a bit hectic. I just gone past a condobel and turn off. This is where you can come undone. I was meant to turn up there, but usually when you take the wrong road and you're out here, you're going to end up on dirt. God's sake, I don't even know where this is going to take us. This one's starting to narrow up a bit. It's a bit of a worry. Knowing my luck, I'll be backing up somewhere, but we'll just follow it. All about the adventure.
After a dirt road detour, Chaz finally navigates back to a sealed road.
Coming up the bitumen now. This is the best part of the day. And where we are, to the left as we're out, whole lot of nothing, whole lot of nothing. And that's why I like it. We are currently probably about an hour and a half from Tullamore. We should just get there on pitch dark, so we should be right. You keen to get out, old mate? Max, yeah. There you go. Come on, Max. Come on, mate. Get your time.
After an overnight layover, it's an early start for Chaz and Max.
Sore foot, haven't you, little fella? Up, up. So we're going to head out through Ningen, and we're looking for a road, Paynes Road, but the sign's only tiny. There's meant to be a few scrub fires up in front of us.
At the height of summer, bone-dry Australia is in the middle of a devastating bushfire season. The worst on record.
Yeah, smoke's coming over from the east of us. There, let's just hope for the best, and the wind's going the other way.
The fires are often sparked by lightning strikes, igniting clumps of grass and bush. With 20 tonnes of dry hay on board, Chaz keeps a close eye on the approaching fire front.
Well, we don't want to get too close to them flames because she's a load of grass, really, isn't it? She's going to go up. It's a bit of a worry. It's getting a bit thicker. Doesn't look like much out there to burn, but if the wind's carrying it, it's like a big fireball. It's not good. Fires are close to the station road. Old mate doesn't want us to go in that way. Just hope we can get into the station where we're meant to go because I don't want to turn around and go back.
Yeah, because everything's running hot, I'm going to have a half-hour break or so, let everything cool down for a while. And this old girl don't normally run this warm, so that breeze is hot out there.
In Central Australia's sun-baked Gibson Desert, Slick is also struggling with high temperatures.
It's very hot today. I can see why my temps are going up.
He's running hours behind, but his overheating truck needs time to cool down, which allows him to check the pressure in the tyres after the pounding they've taken on the scorching hot roads.
All right, that's all right. All good now, off and racing. What's up? What the hell's happened then? Oh, don't tell me. Right, there's 2 tyres. Gone. Right.
The brakes have locked on, dragging the tyres and making them explode. With rubber flying everywhere, a brake booster was damaged by the impact of the explosion. The result, 2 shattered tyres.
Beautiful tyres too. Dolly spares down there.
Slick carries 10 spare tyres for his 62-wheel road train.
Well, the thing is, it's about 46 degrees out here.
At $300 a tyre, he doesn't want any more to blow in the heat.
Can't really tell, but I am sweating like a pig underneath these clothes. There's another one I'm going to have a go.
Just as Slick gets the job done, he discovers a third tyre blowout, putting him seriously behind schedule.
But the quicker I get this done, the quicker I can get back in and drive along. Been here an hour, letting it cool down, and now with this, over an hour. So that's time you don't make up again. Bloody hell, it's hot. It's taken me 11 and a half hours to get to where I am now, and that's 580 kilometres in 11 and a half hours. Not a good haul. I'll never make that ground up. Legally, anyway.
Slick struggles on through the heart of the Gibson Desert, one of the loneliest places on Earth.
When I was changing the tyre, that hour that I was there, didn't see it, not a soul. Not a soul.
Alone, in one of Australia's deadliest landscapes, Slick needs no more surprises.
You're stranded out here. Can be quite a while before someone comes along. Always make sure you've got plenty of supply.
In New South Wales, blazing grass fires are threatening Chaz and his cargo of bone-dry hay bales.
It's a bit of a worry. It's getting a bit thicker. And we don't want to get too close to them flames because she's a load of grass, really, isn't it? She's going to go up.
Chaz is close to his first destination, but the roads are choked with smoke.
Come out the other side of the smoke, and we're going to turn off just up here. So the fires must be behind us. It's good. We're on the dirt now, heading into Glenlee. There's not much out here. This is why they're wanting the hay.
Chaz has outrun the fires and is finally in the clear. He reaches the drop-off point and meets Outback farmer Henry Parry.
How you going, Henry? Okay, mate, there we go. We finally got here. Yep.
With his farm devastated by drought, the livestock are desperate for the fresh hay.
Yeah, it makes you feel good when you're doing good for other people.
We have lost a few, but we haven't lost as many as what a lot of other people have lost.
That's it. It's time to run her home. All right, mate. Thanks, Henry.
Thanks a lot.
Good on you.
Yep. Catch you later.
But for Chaz, the job is only half done. It's a 600-kilometre drive south to the Victorian border to collect 22,000 litres of water, destined for another victim of Australia's brutal drought.
Oh, the tanker, she's fairly old, but she does the job. Got to keep an eye on that gate and this coupling here. We don't want to leak the water out. Up, come, up you go. God, you're getting lazy, mate. You're getting bloody lazy.
On this charity run, the water has been donated, and Chaz is also working for free. The tanker has seen better days.
This friggin' tap, sometimes she rattles open, and if the cap falls off and I lose me water, gotta give her a bit of a twist. I'm used to hanging on to big hoses, so she's a bit stiff this morning. Right. I'm gonna fill the front two apartments. There she goes there.
The first chamber of the tanker starts to fill fast.
Oh, f***ing hell. Whoa!
Too fast.
I turned one of the compartments off, about turning this off, not bloody thinking, and blowing the hose off on the bottom of the tank. If I don't get this hose on in one go, we're going to lose all the water.
As I get closer to Warburton, where there's water, I'm more than likely to see camels. There'll be quite a few in a group. As long as they don't run across me, I'll be fine. And they'll be fine, I won't be hitting them. Oh yeah, they all are. Shit, it's a big mob. Look at them all out there.
Australia's original Outback trucker, the Camel.
That's a big mob, all right.
Was first introduced to the country from India and Afghanistan in the 1840s. The sturdy beasts helped colonial Australians open up the hostile outback.
Here we go. He's going to run across, he's going to run across.
1 million feral camels now roam Australia's vast deserts.
A little bit of a silly animal. Geez, a lot of babies.
In Central Australia, Slick is late for a date.
Right, I left Perth Thursday night. It's now Sunday morning. We're about 800 from Alice Springs. I'm supposed to be in Alice Springs to unload tomorrow.
He's promised his wife he'll finish his delivery and be home for Christmas.
I'm going to be late, but hopefully not too late.
But that depends on his tyres holding out on a notorious desert track.
Last trip, I left Alice Springs with 9 spares in me racks, and I got home with no spares in me rack.
Slick has a dilemma. If he drives faster, he risks a blowout. Drive slower, and he could be a day late into Alice Springs.
Yeah, going Roscoe, Slick. Yeah, all right, mate. I'm just out from the rock, eh? Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, look, mate, by first thing tomorrow morning, gates open 7. If I'm not there by 7:30, you know, you might have to worry. So, have a good night. It didn't go down too well.
With his wife and his customer watching the clock, pressure is mounting on Slick to make up the time.
I should have been in Alice Springs already, but there you go. Nothing you can do about it. Just seen something fly out on the left-hand mirror there, so I'm just going to pull up here and go and have a look and see what it is. Let's get it happening. And there's me problem. Blown out tyre.
The tyre has overheated, expanded and exploded in the tough desert conditions.
Oh, yeah, it's taken out 2 tyres. When that one blew, it's taking out the side wall on this one. So, I'm up for changing 2 of them now.
If Slick keeps shredding tyres at this rate, his chances of making Alice Springs on time are getting slimmer by the hour. In drought-ravaged New South Wales, Chaz Butt has a crisis on his hands. He risks losing 22,000 litres of precious water desperately needed at a cattle station.
I've got to get the hose to go back over the pipe coming out the bottom of the tank. Ah, come on, you bastard. We got it started.
Chaz manages to stem the flow from the unreliable tanker.
This is all it takes, one of these little stuff-ups. just stuck your whole friggin' day. If we wouldn't have got that on, we would have dropped 22,000 litres down the drain. There's blokes out there that want the friggin' water, and here I am wasting it. I'll have to keep an eye on that, retighten it later, because these clamps, they like to settle a little bit. As long as it doesn't pop off in the middle of friggin' nowhere and lose all my water. Me, you and the open road, Maxie. Doing it together. Corrugated road like this, I bloody try not to shake the shit out of the gear. Last thing I want to be doing is crawling underneath the truck fixing something because it's rattled to pieces, but keeping a sharp eye on that pipe underneath that tanker there. If I see water pissing out, well, I'll be rolling around in mud. And I can actually see a trail. I can see a wet trail behind me. I don't know if it's splashing out the top of the tanker or the pipes come off. Ah, look at this. All my clips are coming undone. I just seen a wet trail all the way down the road. Oh, I was worried it was going to be this one. Would have been carting this water out here for nothing. That's what I should have done earlier. These little clips that hold the bloody pipes on, the corrugation's just rattling them in pieces, rattling them open, and I'll tape them up. Prevent that from happening.
It's a temporary fix that may not last the distance, but out here in this wilderness, it's all Chaz can do. Companion Max is the only one enjoying the constant delays for repair.
I got liquid gold on board. It's pretty valuable. I don't want to lose any more. Old mate won't have any time I bloody get there. Come on, Max. Let's go. I'm going to have to blame Max for drinking all the water. I can't tell Matt at the station that I've lost all his water on the road. I have to blame Max, say he drank it all, but friggin' them bloody pipes are giving me dramas. We're not losing water now, Max. That's a good thing.
There's no let-up from the heavily corrugated dirt road. Chaz's old tanker is taking a beating.
Trailer's old springs. It's old spring trailer. It's not airbag, so I don't want to be busting friggin' springs and carrying on. Trying to get the trailer home, I might as well take it a bit more steady.
With Christmas looming, Slick should have been in Alice Springs by now, unloaded the building supplies and on his way home to Perth.
There's the problem. He's got no rubber.
But he's stranded, 300 kilometres short of his destination.
End of the day, just when I thought I was going to be winding down, and then this happens. Come on. Okay. I'll play that game. Been on the road 3.5 days and got one more hour to go and then we'll be in the yard.
Just after dawn, Slick finally makes the bitumen. He's desperate to make up lost time for one of his most important clients.
80 to 90% of our freight is from this company, so to give it time, try to make it. Generally, 99% of the time we are on time, but well, maybe not 99% of the time. That's a little stretch of the truth there, but there you go.
Slick is aiming for a 7 a.m. arrival at the depot gate in Alice Springs.
It's good to get in here. 7:10. Beautiful. About 14 hours later than what I normally come in, but they're all happy.
After a 5-day battle with some of the worst roads in Australia,
Everything's travelled okay.
the neatest man in trucking has only one thing on his mind.
I want to have a shower, mate. I haven't had a shower since I left.
A quick shower and Slick is ready to turn around and do it all again.
So away we go, 3 more days and I'll be home.
2,500 kilometres back to his home and family in Perth.
Give Sandy a ring as I'm leaving town so she knows she can start counting down. See you later, Alice Springs. Merry Christmas. When you have a family and always home for Christmas, I do whatever I can to be home every Christmas.
But as Slick re-enters the desert,
Got a very dirty sky this afternoon.
an angry Outback is not in a festive mood.
Dusty as hell. Everywhere you look, it's just dust, a really dirty sky, brown sky.
Fierce winds have blown a dust storm in from the desert.
It's all coming from the west, so we'll be heading straight into it. Blowing a gale, actually. You can hardly see that ridge over there. You can hardly see the sun. Getting really dusty. We passed the car just a while ago. I didn't see him until it was maybe 50 metres. Yeah, it's just getting worse and worse.
In drought-stricken New South Wales, Chaz is hoping his patched-up water tanker will make the distance, heading for a cattle station desperate for his cargo.
In between Nyngan and Menindee, it nearly looks all the same. There's not a blade of bloody grass out there. Not much water out here at all.
Chaz is approaching Tano Station, 500,000 acres of bone-dry farmland with thousands of thirsty sheep.
Have a look at this, Max. We got it here, buddy. There you go, buddy. All right, Matt, is it?
All right, yeah, mate.
It's Charlie.
Oh, here you go, mate.
Good, this is Max.
Max, here you go, mate.
You don't have another dog to lead him, do you?
Nah.
All right.
No.
We're not worried about that then. Jeez, what a slog to get here.
Yeah.
For farmer Matt Blunden, the old water tanker is a sight for sore eyes.
Yeah, we're all going through drought. We're all in the same boat. Not having that water security. Anything that's donated, it's always a good thing.
Well, we'll be able to fill that up, mate. No worries about that. Can't be that hard.
They got to pat themselves on the back for doing it, so... Right? Yeah, go for it.
The corrugations have cracked this freaking thing. Oh, yeah, that's about to blow off. Literally. You come all this way, and if that pops off there, we're not going to be able to pump the water out of this tanker into the tank. We've got 22,500 litres sitting here and we can't get it off. Max is happy, he can drink it. Do you have any water pumps at all?
Yeah, I think I might have one in the shed. I'll have a look for you.
Yeah? Because even if we could rig something up and drop it down in each apartment, straight into your tank.
Yep. I'll go down and have a look,
All right.
see what we got.
Righto. But that's what we're going to have to do, I'd say. But yeah, each job's different, so, you know, you got to be creative, doesn't matter what job you go to. Grand plan, we can jam this pump up on top of the trailer, run a hose straight into the top of the tanker. We'll pump it straight into his tank. It's probably the only way we can do it, isn't it?
Yeah.
We can only try.
Right.
Yep.
Got him?
Yep.
With a leaky old tanker, Chaz has hauled the life-saving water across hundreds of kilometres of rugged outback roads. And he finally delivers.
Liquid gold. Matty's going to have a good shower tonight. Tell you what, this load of water has just tested me from the start. Well, Matty, we got there in the end, mate.
Yep. No worries. Thanks again, mate.
No worries.
Much appreciated.
Good on you. All right, have a good one,
No
buddy.
worries, mate.
This is why you do this kind of a job. Meet a lot of good people. We're here to help out and what we enjoy at the end of the day, is driving trucks. And
that wind's getting stronger, pushing me over a little bit.
In Central Australia, Slick's driven straight into the middle of a fierce desert dust storm.
Yeah, I could hardly see you too, till the last 50 metres. Northbound truck just seen with me saying that he's come up from Adelaide. It's windy down south of the border, but no dust. All the dust is in the territory. We're only 150 kilometres from the border. This sort of dust gets rammed down into your air filters and clogs up your air filter. I reckon the weather's going to turn for the worst. I reckon we're going to come into rain tonight, I reckon.
With temperatures dropping fast, Slick's worried that rain could turn the Outback into a mud bath.
There's no heat on the windows. Normally this time of the day, middle of the afternoon, these should be red hot. Bugger all heat on them, there's no heat in that sun. Might have to work hard through the mud, see what happens.
Slick is trying to get home to Perth in time for Christmas. But back at headquarters, Steve Graham has other plans.
Now, Kath, did I tell you that Grant's rung me?
No. What's happened?
We've got to get another triple into Alice Springs by Christmas.
A last-minute road train haul across the Outback has Slick's name on it.
All right, I'm going to talk to Steve.
I left a message for Slick to ring me, and I'm expecting him to ring me any minute. Slick's got 2,000 k's to go. That way, if I can meet him at Leonora, it is doable. But he's not going to be happy, and I don't think Sandy's going to be happy either.
Hello, how you going, mate?
Yeah, good, Slick, you?
Yeah, blowing a gale.
Are you sitting down, Slick? Sit down, mate. We've got to get another triple in there by Christmas, mate.
The new job adds almost 7,000 kilometres of driving before Slick can make it home.
Oh, shit. I'm going to have to tell Sandy.
His chances of making Christmas suddenly don't look good.
Oh, how am I going to tell her?
I know that you know that I wouldn't be springing it on you if it hadn't come out of the blue on me. You've got 13 days to do about 6,700 kilometres, mate.
I'll tell you what, if she takes it the wrong way, she'll be ringing you up straight away. You know that.
I know that. Sorry about that, Slick. I'll talk to you in a while.
All right, no worries.
Righto, mate. Good on you.
Okay.
Slick's not happy.
Steve's loading right now. He's hoping to leave tomorrow. And I mean, I'll be halfway across the desert tomorrow. And so I've got to go right across, meet him at around about Leonora, and come back again and do everything that I've done here, find a back load, stack up, do it all again, and then go home. Skimmer me teeth, 2 days to spare. I cannot miss Christmas. That's family time. Any other day of the year is fine. I'll work. But Christmas, I just have to break it to my wife now. So I'm just going to have a walk and try to think of how I'm going to break it to her. All right. Why can't he cart it, though?
Hey, gorgeous.
How you going, sweetheart?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, all right.
What's wrong?
I got a message to give Steve a call.
Oh, far out. What's happened?
I've got to come back to Alice Springs. I've got another triple to do to Alice.
Another week of leave without you.
About 10 days, sweetheart.
Okay.
10, 11 days, depending on the weather, of course.
All right, well, as long as you're safe.
Yeah, love. Okay. All right.
I love you.
Love you too, sweetheart.
Bye.
See ya.
This time on Outback Truckers, water drillers Anthony and Danielle
This is Theo.
enlist a new team member. And family life on the road puts their marriage to the test.
Your guess is as good as mine, Danielle. It's probably another good hour.
Slick's cross-country race home for Christmas
And it only takes one breakdown and then that's gone out the window, you know?
looks to be slipping out of reach.
It just sucks. Big time.
And rookie cattle trucker Kylie has her first crack at driving a triple road train.
Hands still sweating.
While husband David tries some backseat driving.
Brian, I'm trying. Oh my God.
Some places up here normally carry 100,000 head. They're back to about 20,000 head now.
For the past week, trucker Anthony Haig has been drilling for underground water supplies on the massive Alexandria Station, Northern Australia. Nearly 4 million acres of bone-dry cattle country. That's bigger than the island of Hawaii.
This year, they had bugger all wet season. Places like this, they only got bloody 5 and 6 mil out of it.
For farmers battling these remote, inhospitable conditions, water is more valuable than money. Anthony and his team travel all across Northern Australia, drilling up to a depth of 100 metres in search of elusive underground water tables. So far, they've had a great strike rate.
Yeah, we're getting 5 litres a second there. Pretty happy with that.
Hitting water at all 6 drill sites on Alexandria Station.
Turn that off, mate. Hey, turn it off, mate.
The Mirangi water drillers are a family business.
I don't think he really wants to eat, don't you?
Hey?
And this year, they've welcomed their newest member to the team.
This is Theo, who is 4 months old, the beautiful boy.
Theo's not the only new addition to the water drillers' travelling roadshow.
Let's get painting, Grace.
Yep.
Grace has joined the team as teacher for 5-year-old Heath.
My bike is blue.
She accesses lessons online from the School of the Air in Alice Springs. Education specially designed for remote outback kids.
Well done. We'll have another practice before tonight, hey?
School's out because Anthony, second driver Hazy, and the rest of the team are getting ready to move on to their next job.
So today, Hazy's in this one here. So he's got his prime mover, then he's got a bit of a workshop, fuel tank, and all our drill rods are on it.
The family have a versatile setup.
Then his second trailer is our camp trailer.
Built to be self-sufficient in the most remote corners of the outback.
Living, kitchen, all that kind of stuff. Toilet, showers. Schoolroom, yeah, it's on this third trailer here. It's a bit of an office and sort of nursery area for the little fella, the new fella. Not that he does much, but keeps him cool.
The other day it was 50 degrees in here, which is about 120 Fahrenheit. It's so hot out here, I don't want him to get dehydrated. All day long I keep putting a bottle in his mouth and letting him have a go. So life revolves around the baby now.
The drillers are heading over 400 kilometres northeast to Calver Hills Station, a 1.1 million acre cattle property in desperate need of water.
We'll probably have to stop multiple times along the way because he's only just had a nap. So we'll see how he goes. Hopefully we'll get there in time before dark.
The Mirangi water drillers lead a nomadic lifestyle, spending 9 months of the year on the road, helping find water for those desperately in need in Northern Australia.
We bloody come up here and try and get a bit of water to help them out a bit. Nothing better than you see a smile on the client's face, you know, it makes you happy.
Yeah, it's a huge responsibility hanging over our heads. Like, we've invested everything we had into this business on a whim, had no idea really what we were getting ourselves into. But, you know, we're both pretty positive people and hard workers, so we made it happen.
The water drillers now have been driving for 6 hours straight on the rough dirt road.
Get there before dark, set camp up.
And the daylight is starting to fade.
Yeah, well, we can pull up now, but if he wants to get out about at 5 o'clock in the morning to do camp, that's fine.
He's got to remember that we have a baby who can't stand the car for thousands of hours.
Well, I've never seen a 1,000-hour day yet.
Who's the boss? It depends who you ask and what time of the day you ask.
How much longer are we going to be driving for? How long is it to the hole?
Your guess is as good as mine, Danielle. It's probably another good hour.
You've got 13 days to do about 6,700 kilometres, mate, by Christmas.
In the red centre of Australia, veteran truckie Adrian Slick Serafini has been hit with bad news from his boss, Steve Graham.
I wouldn't be springing it on you if it hadn't come out of the blue on me.
I realise that.
Slick's just driven 2,500 kilometres through the desert, from Perth to Alice Springs, delivering building supplies.
Good to get in here.
He was making good time to be back in Perth for Christmas.
So away we go, 3 more days and I'll be home.
When the call came through.
We're not going to let our customer down, so we will deliver. But sometimes you got to grit your teeth.
Steve needs him to drive back across the desert, pick up a last-minute order for 3 more trailers of building supplies, and do the entire journey again.
It's the only day of the year that I have to be home, and my wife counts on it, and I do whatever I can to be home every Christmas.
Slick's not happy. I did hear at the end there, why can't you come all the way across? Well, because I've got commitments here, it's as simple as that. It's that time of the year, it's not without having a bit of fun.
As a compromise, Steve's agreed to drive 1,100 kilometres and meet Slick in Laverton. Slick will then carry the cargo 1,550 kilometres onwards to Alice Springs before returning to Perth. All up nearly 5,000 kilometres, most of it on desert dirt.
I'm starting to stew on it a little bit. Still can't work out why he ain't doing it, but anyway, he owns the company.
He's got the job in front of him, the poor fella.
Slick's biggest worry is that he won't make it home for Christmas with his wife.
Christmas is Christmas, that's family time. Any other day of the year is fine. I'll work. But Christmas, I cannot miss Christmas.
They have this commitment in their life, 40, 38 years, whatever, of long-distance trucking, that Slick is home every Christmas. So, you know, I've just got to make sure he gets home one way or another. That's good, that's hooked up.
I think I might be home. If all goes well and I don't get a hold up a day before Christmas. But I mean, it only takes one breakdown and then that's gone out the window, you know?
It's time to hit the road. He knows as well as what I do that a thunderstorm or a serious mechanical issue out there and he's done, he won't make it.
Look at that, that's horny. And that'll do me for the night.
As dawn breaks, Slick prepares for a full day's driving.
Hot air.
But he faces an immediate setback.
Cracked the aircon grill. Bolts come out. Split the grill. So I got no aircon now, so until I get back to Alice Springs, I'll see if I can get it fixed. Well, that's going to cost a day.
It's only 6:30 a.m. and the soaring Outback temperature has already hit 30 degrees.
I'm devoed now. Now I've got 4 or 5 days, no air conditioning.
Driving through the furnace of the desert with a hot engine beneath him and the windows now down, the cab temperature will rise into the 40s.
Some shitty news there, but there you go.
How you going there, love?
Good.
In southern Queensland, husband and wife team David and Kylie Hornick are up early.
Set our alarm for 2 o'clock. I think it's about 20 past 2 now. Getting organised and ready to load these cattle.
Can we have coffee?
They've been contracted to transport 800 head of cattle. It will take every truck in their fleet.
We've come to 3 trucks now. We've got Robert and Troy on board.
Outback Truckers Robert Walker and Troy Barber will also both be hauling 3 double-deck trailers, each weighing 108 tonnes and stretching 53 metres.
You driving?
No, it's too early.
Oh, all right. Yeah, daylight driver.
Yeah.
All right.
Kylie recently passed her truck licence, so she can now help share the driving with her husband.
I'll have a go. I'm a bit anxious about it. I haven't driven it before.
From Wanganui Station near Roma, David and Kylie will cart the cattle 1,100 kilometres to Eildon Park Station near Winton, central West Queensland.
You just go up there and pull me up if you can at the front ramp there.
No, something's locked on, I think.
David and Kylie's truck is refusing to move off the starting line.
It's like me, it doesn't want to get out and going.
Got a brake locking on here somewhere. Not even at the ramp yet, delayed.
Rob discovers a blockage in a line controlling the trailer's air brakes. Tapping the air tank dislodges debris, blocking the air lines and disengages the brakes so the truck can move.
There you go. You going now? Just a bit of love tap from Rob. That's all we needed. Hey, mate.
Yeah, mate.
How are they loading?
No, not too bad. Another 20.
3 a.m. The upper deck for the first truck is loaded before they raise the ramp and load the lower deck.
That seems awfully slow. Not even going up.
The ramp is powered by batteries in the truck, but it appears to have lost power.
Where's your jumper leads? Must be a broken wire somewhere, Rob.
With time slipping away, David tries powering the ramp by jumper leads connected to the battery in the farmer's four-wheel drive.
You've got the round the right way, mate. Just sparked a bit up here. Up and in. No, you got it around the wrong way.
Well, just swap the black to red. Put the black around the other way.
You know, and it's good now, the power of the car got the ramp back up, so it must be either a broken wire from the trickle feed from the truck to the trailer that doesn't power up our batteries. Without that ramp, you're buggered. It's a necessity. Had a bit of a bad start. Over the next two are better.
3:30 a.m. Behind schedule, they finally start to load Rob's 3-trailer road train.
What time did you want to be left here by?
Yeah, I wanted to have Rob loaded by now.
Well, that's what I thought.
What have we got here now?
What's happened?
It's been one technical hitch after another, and the bad luck is not over yet.
Oh, he's not happy. He's about to crack it.
Right, well, this is what's happening. We will pull up at 7 o'clock if we're not there yet.
In Australia's Northern Territory, water driller Anthony Haig is trying to reach the next job site before daylight fades.
If it's only going to take us an hour to get there, we're better off doing it. Because if we pull up here now, set up camp, pack up camp by the time you get everyone mobilised in the morning, you'll probably lose 2-3 hours.
But his wife Danielle, worried about the baby, doesn't want to drive into the night.
Look, it's so hot for him. He's struggling with this heat at the moment, so...
Well, they say happy wife, happy life, isn't it?
We're just going to pull up here on the side of the road and camp up here tonight.
Looks like Danielle has won the day.
Got to think of the baby and the kids now, though. And me too. I could tell he's got his cranky pants on. 50 Ks can sometimes take a few hours. And poor Theo's had enough, haven't you, darling? He's sitting in the car all day. Now we have to get up early. That's all right. Well, hopefully once he's finished, then we'll be off heading to Calver Hills. Hey, yeah, when you're finished.
He's going all right. I think he's having a bit of a feed now and then we'll be off.
Second day on the road. All buckled up. Hey?
Anthony and the team are heading for a drill site at the massive 1.1 million acre Calver Hills station.
Yeah, well, you want to go to about 60 metres total, or...?
Farmer Will McMillan helps guide the convoy from his helicopter.
That's what they reckon.
Yeah, okay. We'll talk to you then. Most stations up here got their own chopper. Yeah, it's just a bit easier getting around if they got to check on things.
A stake in the ground marks the spot where the team will drill for water.
But at the end of the day, you don't know if you're going to get water until you drill that hole, eh? Oh, come on.
Look how bogged Anthony is.
Anthony's not happy, you can tell. Hands on the hips. Yeah, well, considering Anthony's in a bit of a rush to get 6 bores done in 6 days, yeah, it's not a good start.
Yeah, no, the corrugation's just, the truck goes like this all the time, the bonnet's wrenching around in different angles.
In Central Australia, Slick Serafini is in the middle of the sun-scorched Gibson Desert with no air conditioning.
Today it's in the 30s, and then it'll be back up into the 40s, and then it'll be hot. And then I'll get cranky.
1,500 kilometres away in Perth, his boss, Steve Graham, is preparing to rendezvous with Slick in Laverton.
I don't look like I'm rushing, but I am.
He's bringing 3 trailers for Slick to carry onwards to Alice Springs.
He's out there in 40+ degree heat, more sitting in a truck cab with no aircon, so he's certainly not happy. And I don't blame him.
I've shut all the vents off, it's still hot air that's coming straight through. And no matter what I do, that normally makes it work, but it ain't making it stop.
He can do it. He's got to average 650 to 670 kilometres a day for the next 10 days or so, and he'll do it. And I better get on with it, or he'll be even grumpy. I better make him wild.
Not comfortable driving with your windows down. I mean, cars past you, everything just gets covered in dust. You get wind burn from the hot breeze coming through, and it's just uncomfortable. It just sucks, big time.
Steve is finally underway, but the traffic is bad.
It's no fun. I just want to get out of here, get away from these bloody traffic lights again, and get on the open road where we can do our own thing. See, these lights better give me a break. See, I'm hardly into it and they're gone orange. What do? You're already halfway across the intersection when they change on you.
Going over a bump, it just didn't feel right. It's hard to explain. You sort of know how things ride a little bit, so.
In the Gibson Desert, Slick suspects something is wrong with one of his trailers.
Oh, there we go. Broken airline.
If Slick can't fix the trailer, he won't make it to his rendezvous with Steve in Laverton on time.
What have we got here now?
What's happened?
In central Queensland,
Yeah, I know.
David and Kylie Hornick are facing yet another delay in getting 800 head of cattle on the road.
Yeah, the little handle just broke off before. Rob must have too many wet picks.
The handle unlocks the trailer's loading ramp. The team needs a solution fast.
Bit of brute muscle and a bit of lube to lube that hinge up.
A bit of grease on the hinge gets the ramp moving again.
There's a little bit of duck shit weld on there. Christ. No wonder it broke.
It's 3:30 a.m. and they still have 2 more trucks to load.
Delays always make it hard on the cattle. That's the thing you just got to be cautious with.
The longer the cattle are in the trucks, the more stressed they become, causing them to lose weight.
Probably take another half an hour, 40 minutes to load this one if all goes well.
How's your counting going?
Yeah. Good. Like a game of tennis, I'm like.
Come on, off you go.
4:30, and David's convoy is finally loaded with cattle.
Yeah, all loaded up now. We'll just do the paperwork and we'll be on our way. There's a few setbacks there, so we won't worry about having a cup of tea until down the road there somewhere. We're on our way, love.
Out upper.
There's no fences on these places. Might have a few wild pigs. Always the old cow walking about.
Roos do a big damage too.
Roos. Watch out, you got a roo just in front of you. You're right. So we definitely got to look out.
Every trip we do together, I get nervous that, you know, both parents are on the road and it's so dangerous sometimes.
For my old fella, he drove trucks too and he died in the truck. So,
he was 27 and you were 7.
I sort of done a tribute. I got his a photo airbrushed on the back of the bunk there. Wanted to do something, so he was always with me.
Every time something goes wrong or something, I always say, come on, John, help us out, pull us through. And I think that he always does.
Look how bogged Anthony is.
Come on.
Yeah, it's not a good start.
At Calvert Hill Station, the water drillers, Anthony and Danielle, with 6 bores to drill in 6 days, have arrived at their first drill site, but they're already in trouble.
Just sandy, powdery shit, fluffs up and can't get any traction in it.
What now?
So we're going to bring this other truck round behind, put a stiff bar on and get a bit of a push out and hopefully we can get out.
You right, hey? Yeah, mate. Yeah, go.
Anthony and Hazy use a stiff bar to push the Bogged truck. But the sand is too deep.
Nothing's happening. They're stuck. I don't know what he's going to do. He's proper bogged there.
I wonder how he's going to get out.
Hey there, Will.
Anthony has no option but to call the station owner for help.
Mate, are you able to get someone to run that grader out or whatever?
Anthony's just radioed the station and they're heading out with a loader to pull him out.
He's going to bring the loader out and hook on the front of us, try and pull these trailers around, so probably be about an hour and he'll have a loader out here for us to help us about.
Before the station owner arrives in the loader, a road grader driver appears to assist in moving the stranded truck.
See how we go, eh?
Oh, see how we go.
It's a desperate tug of war. The road grader is not built to rescue a 50-ton truck, buried up to its axles in the sand.
Oh, there we go. Broken airline.
Slick's race to make it home for Christmas with his family isn't getting any easier.
What it is, it's a main line that goes from the air tank to your brake booster, which is your park brakes. And the hoses are old and brittle. I'll just go get some tools and give it a fix.
In the Perth traffic, his boss Steve is stationary too.
Now, it looks like we've got another oversized load coming, and this bloke is going to try and close the bridge. And here comes the traffic warden, and he's going to clear it out. No, we've been closed. I can't afford to get held up. Every hour I get held up is an hour that Slick may have to fine. I've got to be at Laverton when he drives in there. I don't think I'm going to be.
In the Gibson Desert, Slick has lost pressure to his air brakes.
Anyway, This is the third time I've had to get under here and fix a hose. Come on. Right. If it's long enough, I'll just rejoin it. If not, it might be long enough. That'll be all right. Get some air happening and see if that's fixed it. Yep, that's a better sound. That's just building up air pressure. Yep, that's the right sound. And away we go. Right, have a little drink, get some moisture back in me.
The road's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not bad at all, mate.
Slick's hit a rare stretch of the Great Central Road that's been recently graded to smooth out the corrugations.
I like the solace lifestyle of doing this sort of work. On your own, looking at a sky like that, country like this, you know. I like it out here.
1,500 kilometres west, Steve's on the move, aiming to meet Slick in Laverton to speed up his progress. But he's way behind schedule.
I've lost easily 4 hours, 5 hours today. Mount Magnet's 400 kilometres in front of me, and I should have been pulling out of there now if all had gone well, but too many oversized loads. Everyone's trying to get everything done by Christmas, so there's no oversized activity over the Christmas holiday period, so they're all rushing to get it done now. All I can do for my bit of it today is keep pounding away, knock these kilometres down and get this road train over to him. But it wouldn't take much of a mechanical breakdown or driver stuff up, and what we're trying to achieve here is all over.
I just got a message from Mum, David, and she's gonna take the kids into Mitchell and watch us come in so they can wave goodbye.
Oh, that'll be good.
In Outback Queensland, husband and wife team David and Kylie Hornick are managing a 3-road train convoy fully loaded with cattle.
If anything did happen drastically, like the kids would be left with no mum or dad, so it's a higher risk when we both do a job together 2 up, but at the end of the day, we're doing it for them.
While David and Kylie are on the road, their 3 children are staying with their grandmother near the town of Mitchell, Queensland.
They're waving already. And Mummy, Daddy. Always teary, but happy. They're so cute. Miss out on a lot, but it's for the better.
It is starting to heat up out there, so the next sort of worry are some tyres blowing, but just cross our fingers they don't blow.
With the mercury pushing 40 degrees Celsius, if the convoy stops, they risk the cattle overheating.
Keep going so you get breeze through them, sort of cool the weaners down, so that's like that big aircon. We keep going, keep trucking. Doing pretty good time. We might not even have tea at Longridge. You might even have a bit of tea in Winton, maybe.
If the convoy can make the 500 kilometres to Winton with no further delays by 6 p.m, they will have clawed back the time lost for loading.
We've got rubber up here, we've got rubber.
Blow your tyre up.
Oh, bloody hell. So we'll find the next parking bay and all get in and give a hand and change it out.
With 800 cattle left standing in the searing heat, time is critical.
We'll get this done as quick as we can and get back on the road, get the breeze through the cattle.
But it's not as simple as just changing a tyre.
Here's Bogged. Here's your Bogged the guard.
Grader was close by, so we thought we'd give it a go a bit, but yeah, you just can't get enough traction, so we're just going to wait for the loader to come. We'll see how we go.
At Calver Hill Station, the water drillers are stranded. With outback temperatures soaring, their trailer is bogged in sand.
Can't set up the camp yet until we get this truck out. It's got the
the generator on it, so we can't set up the power yet.
Danielle shelters the kids in the air-conditioned four-wheel drive.
Have some water? Yeah, he's just having a bottle with Grace at the moment, so he's a bit happy, but he's getting a bit irritable now.
But outside in the 40-degree heat, tempers are fraying.
Danielle.
Anthony and Hazy dig for over an hour in the relentless heat.
Dude, look how far under it is.
But just as it's looking hopeless, the cavalry arrives with 200 horsepower and 4 giant tractor wheels.
Oh yeah, so the load has just showed up. He's just going to get a bucket full of dirt so he gets a bit of weight and hook up and we'll see how we go. Bit of a sand pit, not much bottom in it, but it is what it is. We'll see how we go.
The drillers edge the stranded trailer out of trouble. But the powder-fine sand fights back.
Trying to straighten this guard bar for you.
In central Queensland, David and Kylie's cattle convoy is in trouble and the livestock are in danger of overheating in the blazing outback heat.
Wait a minute.
A blown tyre has bent a steel bar supporting the truck's mudguard. If it's not fixed, it will damage the replacement tyre.
That'll all right. Good as gold, mate. All changed, ready to go, pack our gear away and get up.
Hey, up you get.
One of their passengers is not so keen to get back on the road.
I just found one down in the back pen here. We've got to get him up, so I'll get David to get the jigger and get him up.
Don't want him to sit down just in case they get trampled on.
He just wants to lay there.
Get up, get up.
With the convoy back in action, Kylie takes over the driving.
Where's the seat thing?
Between your legs like they always are.
This is the first time she's driven a fully loaded triple road train.
And you gotta push the yellow button in.
Oh, really? Thanks for that.
So you don't have your clutch in enough.
Yes, I do.
Don't rev it up too much.
Yes, gearbox.
Just steady, mate.
I'm too close, mate. That's what I was saying to you.
Well, you need to be that close to put your throttle down. You don't need to rev it that hard.
No, I find the hardest part is to listen and do what I'm told by my husband. So I don't like doing that much. But he's the one with the knowledge and the experience. So I've just got to listen and do exactly what he says and I'll be fine. My palms are sweating.
Doing great. Great first time loaded. You be right for a bit, I might have a bit of a lie down.
Yep.
Right up.
I'll call you if I need.
Kylie's driving solo 314 kilometres to the next stop in Longreach, Queensland.
You've really got to be strong in your arms to hang on. That's what I find. You've just got to counteract where the road pushes you.
3 hours later, as she approaches their destination,
change down.
Driving instructor David wakes up.
Up to his bull bar. Brake. Brake.
I'm
Brake.
trying. I'm trying.
Neutral.
Anyway, I made it.
Before they move on, Kylie checks up on the passengers.
The animals are fine at this stage. They're still standing, all's good, they're travelling really well.
While David makes a quick engine inspection.
There's a little hose coming off in the top of the water pump there. And looks like it's just seeping out of the top of the fitting.
David's engine coolant hose is leaking, and it could bring the journey to a grinding halt.
If that hose blows and we're at the back of nowhere, well, you'll just stay there. You'll have to sleep with the cows on and unload the next morning. Not good for anyone, not an option.
Not a bad morning, actually. It's not too hot.
Slick has spent another night parked up in the desert, ahead of a trailer swap with Steve in Laverton.
Heading to Laverton, be in Laverton in about 4 or so hours. Don't want to be too early, otherwise when I ring him up to tell him I'm there, he'll say, well, keep coming. I want him to come to me.
I've got 580 k's to go to get to Slick, so I'm going to get on with it. Let's go. I'm going to go to work. Definitely a hot day building. It's just after 6 and there's plenty of sun and there's plenty of heat in the air. I just hope it's going all right for Slick out there.
It is trying to build up for a storm. If it rains, it rains. I've nothing built better.
Slick will make it to Laverton first.
I'm not hanging around.
But he doesn't want to be there long.
If he talks too long, I'm just going to say, see you later, mate. Wind up your own legs. I know I've got only so many k's left to dirt, and I get a little bit sad. I'm out of the Outback Trucking business, and I'm back into normal civilisation, you know. People everywhere, trucks running up and down. All right, here we are, and exactly 11:25. 5 minutes ahead. That's good.
But there's no sign of Steve or his cargo.
Not coming yet.
Anxious to make it home for Christmas, Slick is not happy having to wait.
All right, I've been here just shy of 2 hours now. I missed a call from Steve. He was planning on being here about 1. It's now 20 past 1.
Slick could keep driving towards Steve, but it's all bitumen roads, and his tyres are set to low pressure for driving on the dirt.
It's a longer haul for me to pump up my tyres, drive out to Leonora or wherever we're going to meet, the other side of Leonora, come back and let them down. I'll lose an hour and a half, 2, 3 hours, all up. All right, here he comes.
Slick's long, hot wait is finally over.
2¼ hours waited.
He's looking at his watch and he's tapping his watch. Swaps. They always bring out a little bit of this and that and everyone.
11:25 I pulled up, 2¼ hours.
Mate, you should try my end. It's been nothing but drama.
Yeah, right.
After exchanging trailers,
good to go.
The two mates exchange pleasantries.
Righto, mate, have a good one, eh?
No comment.
And Slick is on his way.
Right.
Destination Alice Springs, over 1,500 kilometres of dirt road away.
The pressure's on Slick. He's got a whole new road train. You've got to get it all the way across that desert, unload it, turn around and get all the way back across that desert to Perth.
Slick's family Christmas looks less likely with every delay.
Oh, mate. He's proper bogged there.
After a 5-hour delay, Anthony's road train is finally dragged free of the sand.
Yeah, so we're just going to pull this other trailer out now.
But the whole operation is way behind schedule. Once the towering drilling rig is hoisted, they're ready to go. The drill cuts through the hard sandstone rock beneath the surface in search of the elusive water table.
It's pretty hit and miss. Get water up there.
The water can be anywhere from 30 to 100 metres underground.
They had to work in the hottest part of the day today, so they're going to be knackered when they finish.
While Anthony and Hazy get busy drilling,
I think we're like 4 hours behind, 5 hours behind now.
5-year-old Heath and teacher Gracie are back in school.
What's your last letter? Good boy. What'd you like to do on your bike? Tricks. He does like his schoolwork.
Not all the time.
Oh, sometimes.
In the Outback heat, the drill team are now down past the 20-metre mark, and it's as dry down below as it is on the ground.
Yeah, well, if it's a dry hole, it's enough good, eh? We'll keep going.
But just when it looks like they're finding nothing but dirt,
Come onto some water now, at about 26, 27 metres.
the news of a water strike travels fast.
That's a good sight to see.
Station owner Will McMillan arrives with his son Archie to see it for himself.
It is a big gamble, but it has paid off.
The water supply keeps his cattle station in business.
You know, opens up new country for them, obviously gives them an income, and in this drought, water is money, really.
School's out and it's playtime. The end of a long, tough day for the Mirangi water drillers.
So we pulled in this morning and got bogged to deaths and get a loader to pull us out. But when you get the result like this, it's always worth it, eh?